Hello, and welcome again to another episode of Something Something Chat Show, where Tom Jr. Jackson presents After the Movie Review. And this is episode, I want to say 29. Episode 29 of Something Something Chat Show, Tom Jr. After the Movie Review. Today's movie we'll be discussing is the 1995 classic submarine thriller, Crimson Tide, from 1995. And first, let's get this out of the way. As always, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. Ring the notification bell. Go down below, and in the description, you will see 2 YouTube channels that you can visit and subscribe to and check out. One is the Geek Singularity. And what is the Geek Singularity? Well, folks, the Geek Singularity is a channel where you, if you are a film fanatic and someone that's interested in movies and sci-fi and cinema and horror and anything in between, this is the channel for you. What do I mean? Well, they got such great shows on their channel, such as Midnight Musings, Midnight Metal, Observations with the procurator and your captain of the channel, Robert Meyer Burnett. Let's Get Physical Media, a fully articulated whining about movies, and 2 new shows. One new show is a 97% Spanish speaking show that's every other Saturday on the Post Geek Singularity Network, YouTube channel, I should say. And that is a show called The Latin X-Men, which, from what I hear, the name may be changed because some people were not happy with the title of it. And the people that do the channel are 2 people who decided that what they wanted, who do the show on the channel, decided that was the title that they wanted to use, but people were a bit offended by it, so they're thinking about changing it. But check it out anyways, every other Saturday. Then there's another show that's every Monday, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. It's called Ladies of the PGS, hosted by RM. And she does a show where they talk about movies like sci-fi, horror, Star Wars, Star Trek, sex, DC, Marvel, and everything in between. So check it out. Sometimes she does the show solo. Sometimes she has the lovely Lorena Creole as her co-host. So check her show out. It is a blast. And speaking of RM, she's got a great channel called Positive Fandom, where it's about being, there's a lot of, we need some positivity in fandom these days. And this is one of those channels where not only is it about being positive, but also about embracing the creators out there. So if you have a YouTube channel or a Instagram feed or a website or, something you want to promote, you can come every Sunday morning to Sunday Brunch Live on the Positive Fandom YouTube channel, and that's at 10:30 a.m. Eastern, 7:30 a.m. Pacific, where RM and her co-host Russ Whitfield, who's an author, by the way, look him up on Amazon, Russell Whitfield. and they parlay about all the pop culture that's fit to parlay from throughout the week into one show just for you. And if you come into the chat and you let us know, and when I say us, I mean myself and RM, because I am also the moderator of the Positive Fandom YouTube channel, and I'm also a moderator for the Post Geek Singularity channel as well. But RM is my friend. I'm her collaborator. We're co-conspirators. We're the people that created the hole in the donut. No. Anyways, just trying to be funny, folks. Anyways, check the show out every Sunday morning, 10:30 a.m. Eastern, 7:30 a.m. Pacific, on the Positive Fandom channel. Excuse me. And along with that, she does unboxings. She does reviews of television shows, movies, out of the theater reactions, out of the theater reviews, trailer reactions, and so forth. Check those channels out. Let them know that you heard about them from this guy right here, me. So now that we've gotten this out of the way, let's get to the topic at hand. Episode 29 of After the Movie Review. And as always, folks, please remember, check out a lot of the shows on this channel, because I actually have playlists. So you can do a whole marathon of different reviews and stuff like that. So check that out. Shall you? So we're going to talk today about the action drama thriller, great submarine movie, Crimson Tide from 1995. Now, in the 90s, there were films about submarines, and there's The Hunt for Red October, which top tier verisimilitude of awesomeness. And there is Tony Scott's Crimson Tide. Now, Crimson Tide, this film is peak verisimilitude and a lot of intense moments as well. You have a US nuclear missile submarine, or if you want to get technical, a nuclear vessel. You Star Trek fans out there, taking care of you. A young first officer, played by Denzel Washington, stages a mutiny to prevent his trigger-happy captain, played by a legend himself, Gene Hackman, from launching his missiles before confirming orders to do so. Now, this movie is a fantastic movie. It's got a cast: Denzel Washington, Gene Hackman, Jason Robards, the late great James Gandolfini. So this is probably about 2, maybe 3 years away from The Sopranos coming out. Yeah, about 2 or 3 years from The Sopranos come out. So he was great in this movie as well. And Viggo Mortensen from the Lord of the Rings films as well as in it. So he was a few years out from 2, 3, so 95. Well, 3 or 4 years away from filming those films. Who knew? This is one of those films where you watch it, you're going, okay, this is what's happening. The sub goes out there. Excuse me. They're trying to. They go out for I think 90 days or 30 or about 90 days, something like that, to patrol the waters and in case of a missile launch happens or enemy subs or something like that. And yes, in this film, in a way, they make it look like the Cold War has started over again. Excuse me. Since the U.S. Navy would not cooperate with filming for several scenes, the French Navy allowed use of one of their Triumphant class ballistic missile subs, along with the aircraft carrier Foch, F-O-C-H, I don't know. And if you're French and I mispronounced it, I am sorry. The U.S. Navy found the subject of this film objectionable and inaccurate. It refused to provide any assistance in the movie making, meaning that they found it highly impossible for something like this to happen. And also because it involved a mutiny as well. So that played a part in it. Now, one of the people who did a uncredited pass at the screenplay and added some dialogue, Quentin Tarantino. I didn't know that till I was doing my research on this film. Quentin Tarantino added some dialogue. The dialogue he contributed was a scene where Denzel Washington calls himself Captain Kirk, dialogue about the movie Enemy Below and Run Silent, Run Deep, and an argument about who was the better artist, Jack Kirby or Mobius. He did a uncredited punch up of the dialogue, and he did it because Tony Scott asked him to, because they have been friends since Tony Scott directed True Romance, so they've known each other for a few years. Now, at one point, Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt were considered for the Denzel Washington role. And for the captain, the role that Gene Hackman plays, they considered Warren Beatty and Al Pacino, and both of those fell through, and they got Gene Hackman. And like I say, when you hear so and so was considered for this film, but either passed on it or the deal fell through, you think about it and go, okay, let's try to picture it. And you picture it, and it's like, oh, okay, I can see that, but it would be a totally different experience, a different performance as well. So, it's interesting. It's sort of like with Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, where they originally wanted Tom Hanks and John Travolta to be in it. And Travolta would have played the Candy role, and Hanks would have played the Steve Martin role. And that would have been a totally, completely different movie itself, and the way that it was performed. You know what I mean? The acting styles and whatnot. And the only reason they didn't get Travolta for Planes, Trains, and Automobiles is because at the time Travolta was what they call box office poison. So they didn't want to. They didn't want to risk hiring him and not happening. And Tom Hanks was making big at the time, so he couldn't do it. It would have been interesting, though. Very interesting. What I like about this film is that it's almost like a play. It's all done in one set. You know, it starts off at the Navy Academy. It starts off in Denzel Washington's character's home, and then it goes from there to on the sub. And when you get on the sub is when all the action happens. And by action, I mean the intense scenes of, is Gene Hackman going to push that button? Is he going to turn that key and launch those missiles? Because a note, a message comes through where they have to verify it, and it gets cut off. And it just says missile, it just says launch missiles, and then it goes ... So they don't know if it says do it or don't do it. And it's all about Hackman deciding, I'm going to launch these missiles, and if we don't do it, your family and all humanity that will be wiped out, will be gone. You do this for your family. And Denzel Washington, who's by the book, his character is like, no, we should try to raise this buoy that has an antenna on it, and let's see if we can figure out what the actual message was. Because it could say, don't do this. And if we launch those missiles and they haven't, and it goes and hits them, then it's going to be really nuclear war. You know what I mean? Or, our thing could go over and theirs could go over, and boom, it's still nuclear war. So it's about these two hard-headed gentlemen, one who's going by the book and one who's going by his years of being in the Navy as a captain and his instinct, saying, I need to launch those missiles. And Denzel Washington's like, no, we need to do this by the book. So it's a lot of will he or won't he? And it's fantastic. And I found myself watching this because I've seen this movie many, many times. And I found myself watching this, and I found myself leaning forward, and I'm just sitting there like this, looking forward, looking at screen, and caught up in the dialogue and in the moment of the film and the intensity and of what else is going on there. And it is a great film. It is a great, great film. And I'm saying we're about a year or two away from the 30th anniversary of Crimson Tide. So we're about year 18. So next year will be 19 years. No, next year will be 18 years. And 18, 19, yeah, but we're about 18 years, coming up on 18 years away from the 30th anniversary. No, 28 years, my mistake. We are about 28 years away from the 30th anniversary as of January. But as I said before, in the 90s, there were all these submarine films. Like there was Crimson Tide, there was UV 571, I think it was called. So and I think recently the most recent one was one called Hunter Killer with Gary Oldman. And submarine films are great. Like in the 90s, there was also Kelsey Grammer movie, down down Periscope. That was another one. So that was a comedy. So, for years now, submarine movies have been really in the focus and interesting to see done. And as someone who likes these types of films, and I love these types of films, I think this one is the most intense because even if you've watched it 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times and you know what's going to happen, you still feel that intensity of, is he going to do this? Is he going to do this? It's like, you know, it's not going to change. You know the outcome of it, but you're like, you're entranced by this. So I would say this: a rainy day, right? Picture it. It's a rainy day. You want something to watch. Watch The Hunt for Red October, because that's a classic, The Hunt for Red October. And then do it with a double feature of Crimson Tide. And you get both. I would say Hunt for Red October is the intellectual thriller, but Crimson Tide is just a thriller with action and drama and moments where you don't know what's going to happen. But it's great, and with a great cast as well. And if you want to take it a step further and do a triple feature, get Down Periscope with Kelsey Grammer. That's a comedy. So, you get two heavy hitting films and then add something light, or do Hunt for Red October, Down Periscope, so you get your laughs in the middle, and then get your intensity on and do Crimson Tide after that. So you can mix it around any way you want. But this is a fantastic film where it just sucks you right in. And every cast member that is in this movie adds to each scene with their own sense of purpose. They bring something to the film, and I highly recommend it. Highly recommend it. My late father was a huge fan of Crimson Tide. As a matter of fact, Terry Metalis, that's right, I'm giving you a shout out, Terry Metalis. Giving you, my friend, a shout out. Showrunner of season 3 of Star Trek Picard. And one could say Star Trek was the US Navy in space, Just saying. And good luck with that, sir. I know he is a huge fan of Crimson Tide. I would have liked to have him to have joined me for this, but unfortunately, he is busy preparing for the release of Star Trek Picard at the time of this recording. And that comes out February 16th, I want to say. And from what I hear, Star Trek Picard season 3 is the next generation movie you wish was made. It's that extra season of Star Trek: The Next Generation that you wish that they would do. If they were going to do a revival of it, this would be it, from what I'm hearing. And a lot of people are liking it. And I know season 1 and 2 of Picard are, but really, check this out. Check out Crimson Tide. It's a great, fantastic film. And for those of you watching, I want to thank you for excuse me, I want to thank you for being members of my channel, subscribers, and supporting me, and all the great comments as well. And I want to thank, as always, the lovely RM, my friend, my co-collaborator, as she likes to say, or as I like to put it, my co-conspirator. I want to thank her for all her support and commenting on my reviews and whatnot, and just being the support to the channel as well, and all of you out there who watch. I want to thank you as well. So come back again for episode 30. We got a good one coming for episode 30. Not going to tell you what it is. It's more recent. Yeah, but it's a good one. So all I can say is watch to the sky for the signal, and you'll know. You'll know. So until next time, please remember, no matter who you are, no matter where you go, no matter what the situation is, we are all goof people. And I totally mean that. And I really hope that you have a pleasant day. No, I don't. I want to say thank you and have a pleasant tomorrow. Come back soon. Do I know what I'm talking about? No, I'm trying to stall until I can find how to stop this recording. We're a work in progress, my friends. Work in progress. I hope you enjoyed this episode. It's almost 30-minute episode of me rambling on and on. But still, thanks for watching. And as always, folks, come back next time. See you soon. Bye-bye for now.